Hey, what's up guys? Hope you're doing well this Saturday. Hey, I'm going to be really quick today on our video. I want to share with you guys one of the things that I teach my clients, and I just actually worked with a client on this very specific exact thing. Before I do that, you guys know I'm Jerry. I own WealthX. I believe that everybody has the right to live a life by design, and the reason why is because you were not designed to spend 40 hours a week trading your invaluable time for something as worthless as a piece of paper that we call money just so you can pay your bills. That's not in existence. So what I do with my company is I teach people how to get in a position where they can actually retire. What's up, Colton Connor? Hey, if you guys are watching and you don't know Colton Connor, he owns one of the very best guiding services in the entire country of Alaska. That's right, Alaska is its own country. And probably in the whole world. There's really no way to tell how many universes Colton has conquered with his guiding service. So I want to talk to you guys today about how much money you need to retire. Okay? And actually the title of this video is how much will you need to retire? And the question is how much of what? How much of what will you need to retire? So when I first got started in my industry doing financial services, I was taught that retirement was based on this thing called a nest egg. Okay, a nest egg. So I bought into it. Like initially I was like, yeah, that sounds nice. And I've kind of learned that things that sound nice usually aren't true. And so as I started diving into this and thinking about that, I was like, what's a nest egg? Like, what is it? And essentially the idea is that we build up this gigantic pile of money and we're going to hopefully be able to live on that money during retirement. So we want to look at a couple things. We're doing a nest egg. Are we a bird? If you're not a bird, we're probably not talking about nest eggs. Okay, retirement is not something that we can just turn into a cute cliche and put off and pretend like we're doing okay. We actually do need to confront what we're doing, right? So when I sit down with clients, we ask a couple of questions. We say, what are your goals? So I don't even use the word retirement. When we are working with clients, there are two words I make them get rid of, and they both start with a R. One is realistic, and the other is retirement. Okay, you're not retiring. Retirement literally at its etymology means retreat. So I am not going to have any part as your coach in helping you build a life for the next 40 years that you feel like you need to retreat from. I'm not doing that. That's not my job. I want you to live life by design today and have it sustained all the way through. So when you get to retirement, first of all, don't even call it that. Get rid of that vocabulary. I want you to think about, what do I want to do with my life? What are my goals? The whole thing should be aligned, right? So when you think instead about goals, goals are not monetary. They're not related to money. Money is literally like, it's just this notebook. It's arbitrary pieces of paper. Okay? So if your goal, this is actually a really good example. If your goal is to stack up as many arbitrary pieces of paper as you can by the time you're 65, good luck. When you turn 65, it's going to be miserable. Instead, if your goal is, I want to do X with my time. Maybe I want to run a business. Maybe I want to travel. Maybe I want to donate my time to a cause that I care about. Maybe I'm like Colton and I want to spend my time hunting, fishing, and being involved in recreational activities that bring value to my life. Okay? There's a ton of things you can do. That's what you're doing with your time. And then we need to ask, month to month or year to year, however we want to measure it, how much income is required to pay the bills to allow you to do those things. And that's where we start looking at the actual question. We're not asking how much money do you need to retire. We're asking what's the income you need. What do you need per month? Because if you don't have the monthly number, you're going to be screwed. And what I mean by that is this. In 1913, if you took $1 in 1913, that $1 is worth 2,400% less today. So if you're retiring in 2017 on 2017's dollars and you just follow that math, your dollar every single year is going to be worth 3% less than it was the year before. So what does that mean if you have that giant pile of money? If you did the retirement thing that they told you to do at the HR meeting, that the flashy Wall Street commercials talk about, that your financial advisor, who probably is living paycheck to paycheck, also told you about, if you're doing that and you are stacking up a giant pile of money, You're stacking something up that's going to go down in value. Okay, it's not an asset. Cash is not an asset. It's a liability. It costs you to own it. We weren't taught this growing up. We were taught that cash is an asset, and we were taught that we should save, and that we were taught that a penny saved is a penny earned. The reality is, mathematically, your dollar goes down in value. It's called inflation, and that inflation makes your cash a liability and not an asset. So the idea that you're going to get $1 million in cash in your 401k or your mutual fund portfolio and hang on to that for 30 years is basically saying, I'm going to stack up a bunch of liabilities, hang on to them for 30 years, and try and sell them faster than they can go down in value without running out of money before I die. That's literally 30 years of Russian roulette. Every day, crack. I hope I don't run out today. Crack. I hope I don't run out today. And that's what it's going to look like. So when you get to retirement, you don't need this giant nest egg. You're not a bird. Okay, a nest egg literally is an egg in a nest that you sit on. Money does not grow when you sit on it. You can't just sit and wait. This was this whole thing that was portrayed by Wall Street. Why does Wall Street want you doing that? Because they want you giving your money to them for the next 40 years so they can charge you 1% a year in management fees, whether you make anything or not. If I borrow money from Robert Sislo, go check out Robert on branding, but if I borrow money from Robert Sislo, how does that transaction usually work? I would pay Robert to go use his money. Somehow it got flipped. Somehow it got turned into, I'm going to borrow Robert's money to go speculate with it, and Robert's going to pay me. Like, how does that make any sense? You would turn me down before I could even get that sentence out of my mouth if I proposed that to you. So here's the deal, guys. Retirement is not retirement. It's just your life. It's a different phase of your life. And at some point, you want to stop trading time for money. That's what my company is all about, is we help you do that. So you need an income number. We help you figure that income number out. If you want to know that number, go to www.wealthxpro.com and click on the individuals and families link. I'm going to help you figure that number out. But here's the thing. That number needs to be bigger than it is today, and not even because of inflation. So I want you to think about this. Your standard of living, that not the income, the lifestyle that you have now, do you enjoy it? I hope so. If you don't, we need to increase it today, not in 40 years. Now, when you think about, when you get to the point where you're looking at retiring, your standard of living, do you want it to go up? Do you want it to stay the same? Do you want it to go down? We're not talking numbers, we're talking lifestyle. The lifestyle that you live now, do you want it to be bigger than it is today? Do you want it to stay the same, or do you want it to go down? We're taught with retirement that you can live off 60 to 80% of your income. How do they know that? Did somebody have a conversation with you and say, what's your lifestyle? How much math does it take in dollars per month to make that lifestyle happen? And then can you reduce it? No, nobody had that conversation with you. It's just arbitrary garbage that gets spewed, and we buy into it because the people that talk about it make us feel inferior intellectually regarding the subject. What's your lifestyle? I believe that you should actually expand your lifestyle. Why? Because you need to be eating healthier. You need to be taking care of yourself. You need to be spending more time with the people you love. You need to be learning. You need to be experiencing. You need to be traveling. You need to be doing all of these things that fulfill your life. And if you're not doing them today, then it will mathematically require more money per month coming in when you do them in the future. I don't want you to work 40 years at a mere existence doing something you hate, or doing something you're passionate about at a mediocre level, so that at year 40 you can actually reduce your lifestyle. That doesn't make any sense to me. What was all the work for if we were going to have less? Like, imagine if anything else worked like that. Like, oh, hey, yeah, you should work out so that you get fatter. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, hey, you should build a business so that you make less money. That doesn't make any sense. Why would retirement be less? So here's the deal. Take your notepad out, take your calculator out. I'm going to go quick with this. Okay, let's pretend that you're the average American and you make $5,000 a month. And that's what you want. When you're in retirement, when you're thinking about your retirement, you're saying, yep, I can live on $5,000 a month. Now, I want you to back these numbers out. We are not going to build up a pile of money called a nest egg that we sell off over time and hope we don't run out and hope we have sold off before it drops too much in value. Instead, we are going to buy an asset that produces income that we do not have to sell and that we wouldn't want to sell. It's a great investment. We're going to buy an asset, and that asset is going to pay you $5,000 a month, whether you sell it or not. Okay, that can be real estate, that can be a small business, that can be oil and gas partnerships, that can be land leases, that can be a number of different things that produce income. Now, think about that $5,000. Now, if you have $5,000 a month, you need to continue building wealth. That $5,000 a month is coming in consistently, but it's still going down in value with inflation. So the top 1% of wealth in our country, historically has saved 40% of their gross monthly income. I teach my clients that they need to save that. Okay, so $5,000 a month plus an additional 40%. And that money is not money you're going to spend. You're saving it to buy another investment in a few more years to increase your cash flow. Okay, here's the next thing. You're going to get stolen from. We have this creepy Uncle Sam that thinks they own our country and our income, so they're going to steal from you every month, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, you just have to make sure you have enough after they take their cut, right? So they're going to probably take 25% of your effective tax rate. So not only do we need the $5,000 a month, we also need an additional 40%, and then on top of that, we need to have another 25% so that we can get stolen from. So what I want you to do is take your calculator out, and I'm going to pull mine up here so I can run through these numbers with you really quick. If you need to live on $5,000 a month in retirement, here is what you actually need. So 40% plus 25% is 65%, right? In order to back the numbers out, we're going to subtract 65% from 100% to get the reciprocal of 35%. You're going to divide your $5,000 a month by 0.35, or that 35%. So that number comes out to this: $14,285.71 a month. That's what you need when you're at that retirement age to live on $5,000 a month, still save 40% of your gross income, and then still get stolen from and have enough money left over after the government pillages your income. So how do we do that? We do that bit by bit. That's like our someday goal, right? So in a real sense, you need to have probably 3 times as much passive income for retirement as you think you need. And so in order to do that, we break it down. We find out if that's in 15 years, what do we need to be doing in 5 years? There's a number. It's just like running a marathon, right? If you'd say, hey, I'm going to run 26.2 miles, and mile 3, you're tired and you know you're not going to make it, then your gut feeling is like, dude, this isn't a real thing. I'm not finishing 26 miles. So think of that 15,000 as mile 26.2. Okay? When you are at mile whatever, if you're tired, you will not think you're going to make it to mile 26.2. So what is that in dollars? In 5 years, if you don't have X amount in passive income, it's not going to feel like a real thing for you. What's that number? Okay? It's a goal. It's your gut. Your gut is going to be telling you, dude, it's $5,000 a month in passive income, or it's $2,000 a month in passive income. And we dial that back until we get to a 3-year marker, a 12-month marker. And that 12-month marker is usually going to be either a make money goal, a save money goal, or a multiply money goal. That tells us what we need to do in 6 months. Okay, so let's say you want to save $100,000 in 12 months so that you can get into the first investment so that you can have $2,000 a month coming in 3 years. Well, that means that in 6 months you need $50,000 in the bank. Okay, and that means that in 30 days, so 50,000 in the bank divided by 30, you're going to need about almost $1,700 a month that you're saving, which means you need to increase your income so that you can get there. Okay, this is how I plan stuff out for my clients, guys. When you get to retirement, we're not just going to say, oh, cool, you have $2 million in your mutual funds. I hope you don't sell them before you die. That's not how it works. We're going to say, what do we need to do this week so that you can save $1,700 by the end of the month? So in 6 months you have $50,000. So in 12 months you have $100,000. So in 3 years you have $2,000 a month in passive income because of what we did with that $100,000. And now we can snowball it so that in 15 years you have the $15,000 you're going to need to live, continue to invest, and pay taxes to your government. Okay, so that's what I wanted to hit today, guys. Retirement is a myth. It's not a real thing. It's your life. It's just a different phase of your life. It's not like there's this segregation where you're done and you check in on the other side. The only time that happens, described the way I just described it, is when you die. That's the only time you can check out. So you need to have a life by design. You were not created to work 40 hours a week at a job that you hate trading your precious time for something as like just literally there's no value, something as worthless as money, just so you can pay your bills so that in 40 years you can hope you don't run out of money before you die. That's not what it's about. So I wanted to share that today. It was on my mind. I just helped a client with these exact numbers and these exact strategies. If you have questions about this, go to my website, www.wealthxpro.com/contact, and you can reach out to me. I'm going to sit down with you. I don't charge you money to sit down and look at your goals. Okay? It's something that I'm happy to do for free. If you would like to sit down and just have that conversation, I'm happy to do that. Now, that website is www.wealthxpro.com/contact. Hey, share this if this is inspiring to you. I love the likes. I love the hearts. I love the angry faces. If this was not something you were aware of and you're kind of shell-shocked right now, that's totally fine. You have every right to be, and you should be. I would be worried if you didn't feel that way. But the idea and the basic premise behind this is not to back away from it because it worries you. Learn more. Okay, communicate with me. Find out, how do I start working on this? Learn more about it. Understand it. And you're going to feel a lot better. Hey, have a great Saturday. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys. I'm going to talk to you next time.